monitor your heart rate and everything. Okay, so let's get started with a dynamic warm-up. We're going to be beginning actually with standing. So if you do have a wall in your space that you're able to use that's unoccupied, we're going to be using that for a couple different movements to warm up our muscles. So let's begin by standing up. And we're going to be doing our first one is a lower body kind of warm up. So it's an exercise called Good Mornings, which is basically to kind of warm up the hamstrings. So as a hinge at the hip, you are going to be flexing and extending from the hip, keeping the legs straight. And what I'd like you to try to do is stand about a foot away from the wall. And the further away you are, the harder. And what you're going to do is, keeping your hands at the side of your body, you're going to slide the hands down. And you're going to bend kind of over just until your kind of butt touches the wall. So if you're too close, you won't be able to bend over because you're already touching the wall. So you should have enough space that there's clearance so that when you go down, it touches and then back up, and you'll feel the stretch in the hamstring, back of the leg. Okay. The further away you go, the lower that you'll have to go in order for that contact to occur. So don't go too far. And don't go too far down either. So let's perform a few repetitions just till you come into contact with the wall and come back up. And each time that you are extending up, try to engage your glutes. So squeeze the glutes together. So touch and then up. It's just a small movement you can do to perform this kind of dynamic stretch. So bending forward, touch. You'll start to feel the pull in the back of the leg. If it's too easy, you can step out a bit more forward and it will require you to bend further down. If it's too hard, just the opposite. Perfect. Okay, now while you're at the wall, we're going to do some stability work on our back, our upper shoulders. So what you're going to do is standing the exact same position you were just in. And we're going to do what's called a scapular wall hold. So kind of similar to when we perform our scapular push-ups, same thing, but we're doing the reverse. So you're facing away from the wall and you're going to touch your elbows to the wall. There's no contact with the lower body. So you're standing far enough away. And what you're doing is you're pressing away from the wall with your elbows. So come in contact with your back and then push off. And you're only going a few inches off the wall, but the idea is you're engaging your shoulder blades, opening and closing of the shoulder blades, and you're squeezing tight. So when you're here, starting touching the wall, dig in your elbows, and then push off the wall. Hold it for about 3 seconds, and you'll start to feel a bit of a muscular contraction in the upper back. And then release it. And then again, pushing back and hold. It's an alternative to the scapular push-ups that we were doing. It really helps stabilize the shoulders, performing upper body movements. It doesn't look like you're doing much, but really is helping. And then release a couple more. And push. And done. Beautiful. Okay. And then down on the floor. Okay, and then we're just going to do some bird dogs just to get the core to wake up a bit. So just as a reminder, right arm extended, left leg extended. Hold it for a few seconds. Bring it into the middle and then extend it. Hold for 2 seconds. Each time you extend it, pull it back in. Extend. Touch. Extend. And 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Switch. Left arm, right leg. Hold and meet. And 1, 2, and again. Touch. extend and hold, and 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Stretch it and relax. Good. Okay. So give those 2 new ones a try. So the scapular wall hold is great, especially if you're sitting all day at your desk and we tend to get rounded shoulders. So this really opens it up and it really stretches at the back and will fix that imbalance in that posture. And then the second one was the good mornings. So basically it's just a good dynamic stretch to warm up the hamstrings before you go into your squats and lunges. Okay, so speaking of squats and lunges, let's stand up. You're going to need a dumbbell, or sorry, dumbbell or any weight that you have. Okay. Now this one isn't new, we've done this before, but just as a reminder, it's challenging if done correctly. So the idea is that your lower body is engaged the entire exercise. So at no point is there a resting position where you will return back to a starting position where you typically would get that relaxed kind of contraction or rest period. So that doesn't happen here where you're constantly, legs are burning and you're in that low position. That doesn't allow that recovery. So if you're staying low, then you get that burn, you're burning the calories, you're getting the strength and endurance of your lower body. So this is the pivot and lunge press. So again, just the one weight you're gonna need. And what you're doing is in a lunge position. So you're going to go down in front of the knee, and then you're pivoting and then pressing over your head. So you're turning around. So you're pivoting down and then press. So when you do the pivot, the rotation, instead of coming up all the way, so instead of coming down and then up and then pivoting, where you can relax and your legs are relaxed, you're down, you're staying low and pressing the whole time you're low, okay? All right, so let's do 8 more on that side. So here we go. So here we go, down, pivot, press, return, down, pivot, press, return, down, pivot, press, down, pivot, press, down. Couple more. Pivot, press, down, press, down, pivot, press, and finish. Good. So you'll see what I mean. Your quads, because your knees constantly bent and you're not fully extending up to stand up straight, your quads should be working the whole time. Okay, other side. So we did left lead leg first. So now right lead leg. And here we go. Down, pivot, press. Down, pivot, press. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more. 1. Boom. Done. Okay. Give those quads a rest. Set the weight down. 30-second water break. Okay, next up on the floor, just going to change the camera angle here. Perfect. Okay, so giving those legs a rest, hitting the upper body now. We're going to do our Spider-Mans. So hopefully you're gaining some strength and flexibility so that your range of motion allows you to bring that foot as close to the hand as you can. So obviously the baby steps would be, here and then a little further. So try to bring it as far up as you can. So the beauty of functional training is the combining of elements of strength, endurance, with flexibility and balance and coordination all together. It's not just a push-up, which is just strength. You're using more at once. So you need to be able to have all those different strengths to perform these movements. So it's so helpful. It'll make all your other exercises that much easier if you can involve all the different parts of fitness in one movement, okay? So to have strength and flexibility together is ideal, right? So this is a perfect example. All right, so let's do 12 all together. So here we go. So starting position. And again, if this is too difficult, you can use a raised surface like a couch or maybe something a little bit lower to eventually work your way down to the floor. Okay, here we go. And 3, 2, 1, and we're up and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay strong. 2 more. 11, 12. Drop down. We're going to rest for 30 seconds, and then we're going to perform that same movement again. This time, we're going to do it quicker. You've probably done mountain climbers before, which is similar, but a little bit less control and more momentum. So mountain climbers are traditionally just kind of like this. So there's not really much mobility and flexibility involved. It's just the hip flexors pulling your legs in and out. So you're not getting as much benefit other than raising your heart rate. Whereas these ones, it's so much more. So we're going to kind of do a hybrid of the mountain climbers and the Spider-Mans. So same concept, just a little quicker, and I'll show you the pace, okay? A couple deep breaths. Get in starting position. Okay, now you don't have to reach as far because we're doing it a little faster. So maybe you do half the range of motion. So don't have to bring your foot all the way up to your hand. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do 20. Ready, and up, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, good. Good. You should feel some fatigue of your shoulders, a little bit of the core involvement there. And now you can kind of see the difference versus fast and slow. And if you go too fast and smaller range of motion, it's almost too easy and you're not getting that same benefit. So speed isn't always important, okay? So just another breather, and then we're going to stand back up again. Okay, so we're going to do a more difficult one here, where your heart rate will stay elevated. We're going to incorporate 2 movements. We've done this similar before. The skater strides, where you do the really slow and controlled lateral hop, and you land and balance on one leg, okay? So you gotta do it carefully and controlled to really stabilize the knee and the ankle instead of just jumping back and forth. So We're going to do the skater stride, and on the second rep or on the way back, you are going to do a half burpee. So we did something similar before where we did a lateral lunge and a half burpee. So, and just to remind you, a half burpee is only when you go down and you kick out, jump back, and then up. There's no jumping up. It's just here, bring the legs out and in, and that's it, okay? But obviously you're gonna get fatigued because as soon as you stand up, you gotta repeat the skater stride again. So this will really test your control, your focus, your balance, your reaction time, motor skills, because the more fatigued you get, the easier it is to become disoriented and lose your balance when you're huffing and puffing and your muscles are fatigued, okay? So it's a really good test of your balance and coordination and endurance, obviously. Okay, so starting, remember the skater stride, it's not about, it's quality over quantity. So you're jumping, you're landing. I always use a wall or a furniture to land slowly before you touch that other foot down. Land, control the shock absorption, and then jump again, slow, and then we're gonna go down to the floor, jump back up, and repeat. Down, down, and back down. Okay, so let's do, I guess what we'll do is we'll do 10 of the finishing movements. So 10 burpees at the end of each rep. I'll count you in. Let's get started. Here we go. Okay, so ready. And so the first one, jump, land, jump, down to the floor. Back up, that's 1. Land, down. That's 2. 3. 4. 1/2 is 5. 6. 7. 8. Almost there. 9. 1 more of each. And jump. Okay. So walk around, stay moving, active recovery. Okay, you need 1 weight. Now we're on the floor. Okay, now we've done these similar. Instead of the rotation that's all trunk in this transverse plane, we're going to use a bit more shoulders. So I want you to go over and under. So here, up, down, up, down. 1, 2, 3, up, up. 1, just to eye level, just to here. Switch sides. Two, 1, and done. Beautiful. Okay, sitting down. Okay, so we'll do our Russian twists. No weights to start, so just body weight. Okay, so in this position, feet off the ground, hands here, chin up, twist. Keep going. 14, 15, 17, 18, and 20. Good. Now rest. Okay, and now we're going to get into a reverse plank bridge or tabletop. So here, lifting the butt off the ground, lift one leg, hold this position. Now switch legs and keep doing that. Down, grab your weight. And then you're going to do the Russian twists again. And we're going to try for 20. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, halfway. 17, 18, 19, 20. Good, relax. Okay, just turn. Hurdler stretch. So one leg is bent, the foot inside. Do not grab the foot. Just place your hand along the top of the leg and hold this. Feel free to reach further forward, but just don't grab your toes, which can really irritate underneath the leg. Just grab here. Lean back. Switch. Okay. Again, foot is tucked in, reaching forward, but don't grab the toes. And hold. And relax. Both feet in. And hold that stretch here. You can push down on your legs a little bit. Slow down the breathing. Okay, and then 90-90, so just both legs bent, and you can turn slightly, and you should feel the outside of your leg and hip here. To make it harder, bring your leg closer in, lean more forward, and you can straighten out the back leg. But this is good for me right now. And you'll switch. Both legs bent, and turn. And make it a bit more harder. Straighten out the legs and hold this. Okay, and then just in a half kneeling position, our hip flexor stretch. Here we go. 90 degrees, opposite arm, and rotate. Lean forward more, open it up, bit more of a pull. Bring it back. Other side, opposite arm, rotate. And lean into it more. And back to the middle. Finish with the child's pose, sitting down. Lean back, one deep breath. And down. And one deep breath. Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining me as per usual. Hope you had a good little workout there. And
Thank you.
some new movements. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good rest of the week.
Thank you.